Brian Sutherland is one of the first boxers to ever go viral for not having a clue about how to fight in a professional boxing ring.
Brian Sutherland.
Going back 10 to 15 years ago, Sutherland's comical attempt to get the better of Kenny Rainford on USA Network's Tuesday Night Fights in 1993 was shared frequently across the internet, and as a result of his online notoriety, Sports Illustrated actually tracked the Shelby native down in 2016 for an interview. According to the surprisingly in-depth piece, Sutherland was somewhat of a street fighter. And after being involved in a pool room scuffle, local journeyman boxer and small-time promoter Frankie Hines told Sutherland that he looked like he could really fight and offered him the chance to get paid for throwing punches through boxing.
Can you fight?
Absolutely.
24-year-old Sutherland was already a boxing fan who relished the Rocky movies, and 2 or 3 times a week after finishing his midday shift as a pizza delivery driver, Hines would take him and a few others on runs around Shelby. Or Sutherland would do some rounds on a heavy bag in Hines' basement, or slug it out in spars and amateur fights at a grocery store turned gym, with Sutherland estimating his record in the unlicensed bouts to be 20-5.
Well, maybe he's exaggerating.
After just a few months of training, Hines arranged for Sutherland to make his professional debut against heavyweight journeyman Danny Wofford at a gym in Forest City, North Carolina. Wofford, seen here getting pummeled by future Mike Tyson opponent Peter McNeely in the same year, had a big weight advantage over Sutherland and swiftly knocked him out with a right hand in the first round. But the defeat didn't discourage Sutherland at all, as he got a buzz from fighting under the lights in front of spectators and was quick to ask his mentor Hines when he could do it again.
Can I do it over again?
Less than a week later, a boxing trainer named Abdullah Muhammad needed an extra corner man to provide 2 of his fighters water between rounds in an upcoming event in Mississippi, and through a mutual friend in Hines, Sutherland took on the assignment.
It is imperative that you allow me to be your water boy.
The event in Mississippi was actually a pretty big deal, and a part of USA Network's popular Tuesday Night Fight series, with the former heavyweight champion Larry Holmes headlining the card, which took place inside a casino.
Hey, USA Tuesday Night Fights, knock me out!
USA Tuesday Night Fights.
A few hours before the start of the proceedings, Sutherland was lingering in a locker room backstage when word got out that a boxer on the preliminary card named Kenny Rainford was looking for an opponent.
That's Kenny Rainford fighting out of Liverpool, England.
Rainford's original foe had pulled out for unknown reasons a day earlier, and his handlers were still scrambling around to find him a suitable late replacement to take on.
Yeah, hi. I know this is really short notice and everything, but...
After catching wind of the situation, Sutherland was keen to step in against Rainford, and despite never even seeing him throw a punch, trainer Muhammad promptly secured him his second professional outing. And just minutes before his ring walk, Sutherland got the exciting news that his time in the ring would not only be filmed, but also unexpectedly be featured in the live TV broadcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds, light heavyweights.
Picking things up at the introduction stage of the light heavyweight clash, Liverpool's Rainford was advertised as a good amateur fighter who was having a slow start to his professional career with 2 wins, 1 by knockout, and a decision defeat in his first 3 appearances.
From Liverpool, England, Kenny Rainford.
On the other hand, and perhaps in an attempt to make the bout seem competitive, the mullet-wearing Sutherland was billed as an undefeated street fighter who was making his professional boxing debut.
From Shelby, North Carolina, Brian Sutherland.
You boys have got your instructions earlier in the dressing room. Have you any questions? I want a good, clean fight. Shake hands now and come out box.
After the referee's pre-fight instructions, trainer Muhammad's last words to Sutherland were, "Keep your hands up and stay off the mat." The rest, as they say, is history.
And his opponent making his pro debut, Brian Sutherland from Shelby, North Carolina, in the blue trunks.
And Brian Sutherland knows nothing about boxing. Coming to this, he got into boxing because he was a street fighter, and he figured might as well get paid for boxing, or for fighting. And you can see the way he's throwing his punches, no form at all. On the inside, Brian Sutherland. Actually, it's Kenny Rainford on the inside. The straight punches. Watch how Brian Sutherland just tries to throw anything that he can, flailing at his opponent.
Rainford won 24 of his 25 amateur bouts in Great Britain. Turned pro with a third-round knockout over Aaron Nance last November. He gets the right hand, and that stuns. Brian Sutherland is down, and that's it.
Let the doctor look at him.
Well, this man
Let the doctor look
had
at
no
him.
business. Brian Sutherland had no business in the boxing ring. It was the straight punches from Kenny Rainford.
I don't think he realizes he's in the ring now.
And it's an art. It's so much different than fighting in the street. He's a good street fighter. He says he never lost a fight in the street, but we're talking about boxing. Those are the straight punches. These people are trained professionals. Don't try this at home. And here is what happened. Brian Sutherland didn't even know how to throw a punch, and here's what happens when you get in there with a real professional. The overhand right, that's all she wrote. Kenny Rainford right on the inside, the overhand right. Here's another look at it. Set it up with the left hand and then bing, out. I forgot something, folks. Oh, down he goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 56 seconds of the first round. The winner by knockout, Kenny Rainford.
After having a tooth knocked out and receiving a swollen eye in just 56 seconds against Rainford, Sutherland lost interest in boxing and hung up his gloves for good.
Well, I'm officially retired now.
However, Sutherland comes across as a real fun guy, and when his rapid KO defeat to Rainford blew up on the internet many years later, the Shelby native was actually happy that his brief moment in the spotlight was not lost in time, and enjoyed watching the various viral videos as much as everyone else.
Lucky punch, but he's a street fighter, and I told you never to fight a street fighter fight.